So the question is how to understand the fundamental theorems. So basically the first fundamental theorem just says all the competitive equilibrium are Pareto efficient. And the second one just says all the Pareto efficient ones are can be competitive equilibrium given some endowment. So in an address box, you could draw it. Suppose the Pareto efficient set is like this. So this is the Pareto efficient set. Normally in class I draw it as a line, as the diagonal line. It doesn't need to be like this. So as you see in the tutorial and in the problem set, there are a lot of things that are curved, or sometimes maybe actually be an area of things are all Pareto efficient. But anyways, so what fundamental theorem 1 says is if you start with any point, when you do the supply equal to demand thing, it always ends up somewhere along this curve. So no matter where you start, you always end up somewhere here. That's the first one. And the second one says the reverse. So anywhere you want it to be. So suppose you want this point to be competitive equilibrium, it's possible. So you need to start at somewhere, and when you trade, it gets to this point. So it's a if you want it to be here, so any point you want along this curve is possible. Basically, that's what it means. Then you can find one point maybe here, such that it works, or you may find another point here, such that it also works. But in any case, it's uncompetitive equilibrium given some endowment. So basically, what that says is, and given any economy, so any economy is impossible to be at somewhere that's not Pareto efficient because the market will adjust itself. Say if you want the economy to end up here, it's impossible because the market will adjust itself and automatically it goes to some point in the Pareto efficient set. So that means any economy in the long run will be somewhere along this curve. However, it doesn't say which point on this curve it will be at, and we can actually, because we can choose, we can move around this endowment, we can move around where the economy end up in the long run. So there is still the problem of choosing which point we want to be along this line. So that's why there was the problem of the utility possibility frontier. So what this is basically if you trace out, so suppose you select one point here, and you have UAUB, and you plot this point on this UAUB plot, then if you do the next one, then do UAUB again, and then you plot all of them along this line, then what you trace out is a curve. That curve is called UPF, not UPE. And then if there is some way, say, if you have a social welfare function which represents how much you value each person's utility within the economy, then maybe you will be able to find one single point in here. Basically, this is an utility pair that's optimal if everyone in society accept this social welfare function, and then this point, as all these points are corresponding to some point on this Pareto set, it can be tracked back to an allocation here. Then this allocation is what we call the welfare maximizing allocation.